So, we all dream of building wealth through real estate, right? But have you ever stopped to think about what the single biggest mistake in real estate investing really is? It's probably not what you think. Let's dive into a much smarter way to build your portfolio and, more importantly, how to avoid those common, costly pitfalls on the road to financial freedom. Real estate can be an absolutely incredible engine for building wealth. But there's a trap that so many investors fall into. And it has nothing to do with market crashes or even bad tenants. It's actually a fundamental flaw in how they approach the buying process from the very beginning. And that trap, it's not failing to buy a property. No, the biggest mistake is buying the wrong one. See, an underperforming asset doesn't just sit there doing nothing. It actively sucks up your money, your time, and your energy. So the real secret, the key to success, is knowing how to pick the right investment right from day one. Okay, so how do you avoid making that massive mistake? Well, you do it by changing the entire process. Imagine for a second having a single integrated team that's with you from the initial property search all the way through to the day-to-day management. That's what we're talking about here. Now, at the heart of this whole approach is a really unique kind of professional, a dual licensed expert. This is someone who's not just a licensed realtor who helps you buy the place, but they're also a licensed property manager who's going to handle it long term. They aren't just trying to close a sale. Their goal is to make sure the property you buy is going to be a successful, profitable rental for years and years. Their success is literally tied to your long-term success. And having that dual perspective is a total game changer. Right from the get-go, every single property you look at is being analyzed through two critical lenses. First, is this a smart purchase? And second, will this be a successful, profitable rental? That simple shift connects the act of buying directly to the real-world, long-term performance of your investment. It just makes sense. Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in practice? Let's walk through how this integrated approach gives you a clear, data-driven path that pretty much takes all the guesswork and the stress out of investing in real estate. It all breaks down into four really clear stages. First up is strategy, and that's all about figuring out your goals and finding the right markets. Then, and this is huge, comes the deal analysis. This is where we crunch the real numbers to see if the investment actually makes sense. After that is the acquisition, guiding you smoothly through the purchase. And finally, leasing and management, which makes the whole thing completely hands-off for you after you close. Honestly, the most important step in this whole thing is that deal analysis. Before you even dream of making an offer, you get a full financial breakdown. And I'm talking real numbers, rental projections, cash flow, net operating income, which is your profit before the mortgage, and the cap rate, which tells you the property's rate of return. This isn't just guesswork or theory. It's a crystal clear financial snapshot of your potential investment. So you found the right property, the numbers look solid, but how much of a difference does a smart purchase strategy really make to your returns? Well, this is where it gets really, really powerful. All right, let's break this down. Take the exact same $400,000 property, and let's say it goes up in value by 5%. If you pay all cash, your 400 grand earns you $20,000. Okay, that's a 5% return. Not bad. But what if you use leverage, a mortgage, and only put down $80,000? You still get that same $20,000 gain, but your return on investment, a massive 25%. Yeah, that is a 5 times increase on your return. That is the power of leverage, and it's a fundamental part of building a real estate portfolio the smart way. You're basically using the bank's money to supercharge your own gains, and they're happy to do it because there's a real, tangible asset securing that loan. Now, using a powerful tool like leverage is fantastic, but it also means you really need to have an experienced team in your corner that you can trust. Making these kinds of decisions with confidence, well, that requires a proven track record. And that brings us to why experience is so important. I mean, just take a look at this. This is from a client who's been working with them for over 20 years. They've been through all the ups and downs of the economy with the same team helping them buy and manage their rentals. That kind of long-term partnership, it says everything about consistency and trust. And that kind of trust, it's not built overnight. It's backed by decades of award-winning service. We're talking about a company that's been in the business since 1980. That's over 45 years of deep market experience. And check this out. Here's another one. This is from a landlord with nearly 30 years of experience who says this is the best property management company they have ever encountered. When somebody with that much hands-on experience says the service is that good, you listen. So, just to put it all together, we're looking at a company that was established way back in 1980 with over 45 years of real world market experience. And that expertise is delivered by an award winning team of those dual licensed realtors and property managers, serving all the key markets across Alberta. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's simple. You don't have to try and figure out the complex world of real estate investing all on your own. When you have the right partner, there's a clear, proven path to building a great portfolio. What this all boils down to is a simple, hands-off, and data-driven way to own successful rental properties. The whole point is to make your investment journey not just profitable, but also easy and as stress-free as possible. Look, the best way to figure out if this is a good fit for you is just to have a conversation. You can book a totally free, no obligation investment consultation to talk about your goals and get all your questions answered. So, I guess the only question left is, are you ready to stop just dreaming about real estate and start actually building your portfolio with a clear strategy and with real confidence?